So today is September 30th. It's 2:03 p.m. and I just made it to the parking garage of Rush Hospital for like my annual appointment. So I left from Orland Park out there where my mother is, and so I guess it was like a good 40 minutes. So this is Tuesday, so thank God I made it here for my second appointment. So it's 4:48 and I'm just leaving Rush because after I saw my primary doctor, and I was able to get scheduled to have blood work done, and she always checks like certain organs and cholesterol levels and all of that. And so good night. So it was a young girl, a young black girl that was about to draw the blood. So I'm looking at her and everything, and she followed the procedures and she did it. She finished. And I said, great job. I said, how old are you? She said, 19. I said, what? You 19? And so she just went through maybe it was a 6 or 7 month course. And I said, wow, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Her name was Kayla, Kayla, here at Rush Hospital. So I'm so happy when I go see my primary doctor, because she be on it. Have you been to the eye doctor? Have you been to the dentist? Okay, did your mammogram, your colonoscopy, you had that done, it's every 10 years, and you need a good primary doctor. And I never understood when my daughters were very young, and they would always ask, do they have a primary doctor? Do they have a primary doctor? I didn't understand what that meant. And, I would take them to Cook County a lot, and sometimes we would run across a good doctor, and then that doctor would be gone, And so I would always keep, like their medical documents and all of that kind of stuff. But, since I've had Dr. Deetham at Rush, I stay with her, and she helps me out because she stay on top of everything, saying, hey, we want to just make sure your cholesterol is good. There's a certain type of test you can do and make sure you don't have calcium buildup, so I'm gonna make sure I follow through and do that. When I've had problems with my knees, she got me into knee therapy, and now I'm doing much better. So it's important to have a primary doctor, and then you always do like your yearly annual blood work, and she can check on your kidneys, your liver, and all of that kind of stuff. And so and they were able to schedule me, because now at Rush you need to have a schedule before you go do your lab work. And the young lady that drew my blood, I looked at her and I was like, she looked kind of young. She kind of new here, and she was a young black girl, and so I just watched how she was putting everything together and asked me which arm, and she was down to a T on the procedures. I watched everything, how she did everything, and when she did it, and then she said, you're all done. And I said, great job. I said, how old are you? She said, 19. I was like, 19? I said, did you finish college? But she went and she took, I think, a 6 or 7 month course or whatever. I said, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. If I could, I would have took her picture or something, but I've seen it before that they don't like for you to take pictures and stuff, and I wouldn't want her to get in trouble, so, but oh my God, I was so impressed with her, so impressed.